Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Hataraku Saibo, episode 6. Yeah, last time we saw how the equivalent of, I don't know, an informant in our body was just having a conspiracy theory, and that's why our body reacted the way it did when pollen invaded. And I don't mean Poland, pollen, which is completely harmless against our body. But of course, thanks to this guy, our body said, oh no, this is the end of the world. We must throw everything at it to stop said ending of the world. So yes, basically is that. An allergic reaction is that. Of course, this one is taken kind of in a light matter because, yeah, it wasn't threatening to the body, it wasn't something that will destroy it in the end, even with the overreaction. No, it was something light. Yes, you are going to have a kind of, tears coming out of your eyes, a lot of mucus coming out of your nose, sneezing constantly. Yeah, but nothing life-threatening, the exaggeration I mean. There are of course some allergic reactions in which, yeah, it is very, very dangerous, like the peanut allergy or something similar to that. That is really could cause the death of somebody. But this one, that wasn't the case. And of course, I love the ending of the last episode with a, I don't know, a giant robot starting to destroy everything around him. Yeah, that is medicine for you. A very strong medicine in this case. But anyway, yeah, it was a fun episode, especially the ending. It was just so much fun. I think so far that has been my favorite episode, the last one. So yeah, anyway, not a lot of information or extra information that the show didn't give us before was given in the last episode. But again, you kind of see it's neat to see the how they represent the body in a different circumstance. Anyway, enough of that rambling. I think I spoke enough about in this introduction. So yeah, let's just cut all of these and watch the next episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the sixth episode of Cells at Work. It is a fascinating one because we can divide this episode in two parts. The first one is kind of remembering or giving us, well, remembering for our protagonist and for the audience, giving us information about how the red cells and the white cells are formed. We of course knew that they were formed in the bone marrow because this is some information that we are given in the past in this same show. But we dealt more into that part of the body. That yes, apparently the red cells they release or get rid of their nucleus so they can carry more oxygen. That's what I read, and of course that's what I saw in the episode because that is the first thing we saw. One of the first things we saw that one of the new red cells has everybody has this little hat, but now they have it's like a I think it's pronounced burrell. Hopefully, yeah, I don't use that word many times. And they get release of the ball on the top of that. And of course, we have our cells, our new mature cells that now are going to be spreading oxygen and taking away the CO2 from the body. That's how it happens. And yes, this is something that is happening in the body. Of course, not as literally as we saw in the anime. We don't see the macrophage removing something from a hat. And of course, now, boom, the red cell is completely mature. But it's a nice representation of that, what is happening in our body. And yes, something I was amazed is that finding out that the macrophage has several functions. In this case, they help the maturity process of the red cells. I don't know if the white cells are the same or is a different process, but yeah, it is
it is fascinating and it is interesting to see that yes, the macrophage have a very huge role in our body. That yes, they help to mature other red cells. So yeah, it is quite interesting, and I love how the process is when a new cell is born, because yes, they don't even call it the same. They call it precursor cells. That yes, these are the cells. Um, they are the first, I guess, the first stage of a cell. That yes, this is the cell, and again, this is just a mere speculation because I don't know if I got this correctly. They are then assigned to a job. You're going to be a red cell, you're going to be a white cell, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. So yeah, that is what I assume. And we met the homeopathic stem cells. Um, that these are the ones that produce all the cells. So yeah, they are represented here as nurses, they're taken away from the machine, and all the babies that are happening there, and they are going to their respective jobs, or are going to be to their respective jobs to fight another virus. They are going to share the food with the cells, etc., etc. I don't know if every cell in our body is producing the bone marrow. That is something I don't know. I don't know if the cells that create our skin, or that the cells that create our muscles or our brain cell are all producing the bone marrow, or is just these specific cells that go around the blood vessels in our body. Because yes, this is blood vessels that need to share all the, not share information, give the oxygen, give the food to the cells that are not moving, that are there, that are our skin or muscles, etc., etc. So yeah, other than that, of course, we have so much cuteness in this part of the show, in this part of the episode. It's so much cute to see our protagonist Red Cell as a kid. And even you see how she always get lost when she was a kid. And all this exercise that happening, that yes, they create a labyrinth so they can, the new red cells are used to go into this labyrinth that is our body. Without losing themselves. Of course, this is not happening for our protagonist. She always lost. But anyway, and I love how they, when they start in the school, they say, "Oh yes, we're going to be great red blood cells." And I love the class. The first class, I said, "Blood circulation is fun." When you see the huge map of the entire body, yes, oh man, yeah, this is going to be hard. It's not just fun and games. But of course, it's cute to see that yes, they even treat this class again as a game. That oh yes, you need to find your way in this labyrinth so you can get used to how to go around in the body. I don't know how the red cells do that. I don't know how they are guided and they know where the oxygen is needed. I honestly don't know. But apparently they do. Perhaps it's something in the genetic code. I have no idea, honestly. I have no idea. But again, we saw that our protagonist hasn't changed that much. At least she doesn't cry that much when she's lost, like she was in the school, in the bone marrow. And of course, they are kind of getting ready to prepare for an invasion. We have our white cell kind of teacher of the white cells that is getting ready to show them a threat, in this case a sock puppet, or it looks like a sock puppet of a virus that we see previously. And I love how he takes his job so seriously in the role-playing size of the spectrum, that he just, oh no, you're going to die, or something like that, and just very angry voice, very aggressive voice. And everybody start to run, all the kids start to run. Of course, the one, our protagonist, is lost again. And unfortunately for her, she's lost in the place in which a virus, no, I think it's a bacteria, was going by. And a very sadistic bacteria, because he was attacking the little girl, the little our cute protagonist, and just hitting her. It's comedic, but it's kind of sad because, yeah, you see, oh my god, even if you knew that she was going to survive said attack, because, yes, obviously we saw her later on, this is just a memory for her, it is still kind of hard to see a kid being attacked. Yes, it's comedic, it's not taking that seriously for the reactions of the bacteria, for the reaction of the red blood cell, the faces that are made here. And of course, not only that, she threw her hat towards the eye of the freaking bacteria, and did, of course, stopping for a while. I don't know if this is something that happened in our body. I don't know. I don't think our red cells are capable of defending themselves in any way, shape, or form. This is kind of a dramatic liberty to intensify the fight, let's say, to intensify the moment. And of course, we receive the help of another white cell. Not a complete mature white cell, but a white cell nonetheless. And I'm 100% sure that this is the same white cell that is our protagonist that we saw in every single episode. I am betting all of that because, yes, I am 100% sure that this is the same guy all the way. And it's so cute, again, to see this brave little kid trying to defend another cell. Because that is his job. That is what he's supposed to be. But of course, for us, for trying to establish him as a character, as kind of characteristics of a human being, is fascinating because he's so passionate about his job. He's so passionate about defending the other inhabitants of this city world that they are in, that he's willing to sacrifice his own life. And yes, it's cute until you see the knife, because it's kind of weird to see a kid with a knife, even though he's a practice knife, because we later see that he's kind of rubber because he has no sharp ends or something like that. But of course, he wants to defend the other cell that is in danger because that is what he's made of, literally. So he attacked, he's not very effective. Luckily for our two protagonists, the teacher, the white cell teacher, arrives and deals with the freaking threat. My guess is the macrophage could have done that, but perhaps the white cell was faster. I don't know, perhaps I honestly don't know. Yes, and we have our cute goodbye for our cells. I say, oh, we're going to see you again. I don't know, and all that. We obviously know that they are going to see each other again. And yes, bam, just minutes later, we saw they cross each other paths, let's say, because the red cell just hit him with the little car that she was transporting the oxygen with. And we have our cute moment. My guess is that the white cell was actually remembering what was going on during his school years. I would love to see his side of the story from the beginning, the way he was training and all of that. I would love to see that, honestly. I would love to have an episode in which, oh, this is what happened to me. Don't get me wrong, I love the section of the red cell, but now I want to see the other side. Anyway, yeah, they go back. Yes, again, I'm shipping them because, come on, how can you not? If you're a veteran in the anime, you almost end up shipping anything and everybody. Anyway, we go back to the main part of our world, of our human body world. And this is when things get really nasty. That we saw another invader kind of attacking one of our cells, and he looks completely different from what we have seen before. Every virus has his own way of being, his own shape. The name of the virus is here. We have something here. Not virus, I'm sorry, bacteria. They have their own name, they have their own form, and we see them quite clearly in the end. This guy looks like one of a normal cell, but with overgrown sides. A very bizarre. It doesn't look like the virus that we saw before, that is just a red cup. Yeah, it is weird to see this image that we saw in this moment. I have no idea in that moment, as you saw during the reaction, I had no idea what was going on there. We saw this weird being that is being dealt quite easily and quite fast. We have now our kill cell, sorry, and we have this. Oh, this is weird. They don't even know what is going on. That perhaps a virus infect this guy, and that's why it take this weird form, because they recognize him as a normal cell, but with a different type of body, let's say. And we saw some feet above in the tubes that we saw in the body, let's say. And I have no idea. Okay, this is the real culprit here. This is the real threat here. But no, apparently later on we discovered that this girl, but not girl, this cell is the NK cell, the natural killer cell. Uh, and this is, of course, the major. I'm not gonna say clue. I'm gonna say the major plot point of the episode. Yes, this cell is specialized into killing cancerous cells. And this is when I say, oh god, we're going to see cancer in this episode. We saw cancer actually. The last cell that we killed, or well, the body killed, was a cancerous cell. This is very, very high stakes that we have here. I mean, seriously, cancer is a very serious. I don't know if this is a disease or how is it classified for the information I gather around this one. We saw that cell that she is specializing. We have a discussion with our killer cell. And I don't know, I highly doubt that this is happening in our body. The discussion between two cells that is supposed to protect the body. It is comedic, it is funny because they are having such a hard discussion. It is really funny. And of course, we saw while they were fighting each other or sleeping. Oh, I sleep, my hand sleep. Oh, my foot sleep. Oh, my knee sleep. Oh, yeah, enough of that repetition. We saw a little kind of calm moment in which, okay, if you don't want to tell us where the rest of your friends that are like this are, you don't have to. You just point the direction and we're going to be there. Because we will have to kill them. We will have to really kill your friends because this is dangerous for the rest of the body. And this is when the speech of, don't worry, we understand that yes, we need to deal with us when we are not doing our job for the survival of the world. They understand that. And yes, that is literally what is going on. That in our body, cancerous cells can grow. But they are killed almost immediately thanks to the NK cell. That is the point of this. And of course, we saw in a very deserted area that the buildings are kind of brown. There is no life there. There is no color there. I love again the representation of the colors, the palette of colors that we saw in the last few minutes of the episode. These three badass, because yes, we know that these three are badass, that they are trying to get to the cancerous cell. We still have discussions between the killer cell and our NK cell, or natural killer cell. And she's dragging the other cell with her. And everybody is going to their separate ways. And this is when we discover that this is more dangerous than we expected. That this NK cell is just trying to separate this guiding cell, this normal cell, because she knew that she was a cancerous, that he was a cancerous cell. And she was ready to deal with this guy alone, because that is her job. And that is the point in which we get our cliffhanger. Man, I never expect a cliffhanger in this series, which is fascinating, and I love the reason they use it for a cancer cell. One of the most dangerous, again, probably disease, because I'm not sure if it's a disease or something else, that we can encounter. It is awful, luckily. Unluckily, the person who has cancer, because yes, that is awful thing to deal with. Anyway, I want to speak a little bit about the cells that we saw in this episode, especially the NK cell and the killer cell. We have learned from the first episode that the killer cell is supposed to destroy the own cells of the body in case they become corrupted by virus, but not corrupted, infected by virus. Yeah, I'm trying to deal with this in a more human way. These are not human, these are cells. Okay, it was infected by a virus, and it is the job of this killer cell to kill that cell that was infected. What is the difference between then the NK cell and the killer cell? And this is something I read. The killer cell need to see the pathogen, need to see the virus before so he can deal with the threat. Let's say if you see the influenza virus, influenza whatever, and you have been dealing with said influenza, the killer cell is able to recognize it and destroy it. The NK cell doesn't need to recognize the virus. If these cells see that the original cell or the infected cell is not doing his job properly, or is not as it should be, is behaving differently as it should, then it's a job to kill it, to kill that cell. Because if the killer cell, if it's not a virus that he has encountered, he's not going to attack. Even though the cell is completely wrong, the cell is completely crazy, the cell is completely non-natural for the body. If the killer cell doesn't recognize the threat, it's not going to attack. But the natural killer cell doesn't care about that. He said, screw that, if you are not as the rest, screw you, I'm gonna kill you. That is basically the difference, and that is so much helpful, especially for the cancerous cell, because yes, this NK cell kills the cells that are starting to grow way too much, or this is doing not something that is not supposed to be doing, kill it, and get rid of it. So another cell can replace it. And yeah, again, it sounds cruel for us, but let's remember, these are cells. And the integrity of the entire world, in this case the human body, is more important of the integrity of one cell. Because if you think about it, if you destroy 10 cells of your body, let's say the skin, obviously the brain cells I think a little bit different, but let's say your skin, your muscle, a little bit of the kidneys, something, 10 cells, your body is not even going to notice, or you are not going to even notice that. But if that cell starts to infect all your body, or a lot of your body, then you're going to start to notice. The cancer is going to attack, let's say. So yeah, that is a very important job that the NK cell has. Again, a very fascinating episode, and I cannot wait for episode 7, because yes, the cliffhanger that was left here, oh, it's so fascinating, and it's the first time we see in this show a cliffhanger. But anyway, I really exhausted the topic of this episode. There is few new information, there are a lot of information that you knew before, but yeah, I think I really exhausted the topic of this episode. So yeah, the only thing I have to say is thank you for your attention, guys, and well, see you on the next one. Bye.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and yes, thank you so much for your attention, guys. And as always, if you want to leave a comment, that will help me a lot more. If you want to give me a like, that will help me even more to get on the top of the recommendation for YouTube. And if you want to share this video, that will help me even more. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.